Yes, Judge Provost, can you get me with Miss Karimi, please?
Okay, one moment, please.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hello?
Hi, Judge. It's Miss Karimi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay,
I'm sorry. There was a little miscommunication.
that's all right. I got it. We're good now.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, we have John Norella. Andrew Shaw. Mr. Shaw, here to charge of driving under the influence. There's probable cause. Your bond will be set at $2,500 or the pretrial release. Your next court appearance is scheduled for January 21st. Curtis Simmons. Mr. Simmons, this is a trespass on property. There's also a warrant for failure to appear and a charge of failing to register as a convicted felon. On the trespass, your bond will be set at $1,000. There's a $500 bond on the failure to appear and $1,000 on the failing to register. There'll also be a no trespass at the 7-Eleven, 105 Carver Street in Immokalee. January 21st will be your next court appearance. Yes? I'm sorry? No, I'm not going to do an RR, not with your, well, you looks like you've got FTAs on some other places besides Virginia, and plus with the other outstanding failure to appear already, so.
Judge, I have offers to make on all of the charges if he's interested.
There is an offer from the state today to resolve your case if you wish to consider that, Mr. Simmons. Would you like to hear the offer? Go ahead, Ms. Screamy.
On his 20mm1741, his trespass with the bench warrant, it would be an adjudication, time served and all costs. On his new charges that he's before the court today, the trespass, the other trespass and the failure to register, it would be adjudication, 10 days jail, credit, time served and all costs.
Yes, sir. All right, you've previously been sworn, is that correct? You've been sworn, is that right? Yeah. All right. What is your name then, sir? And Mr. Simmons, you've indicated that you want to plead no contest to the charges trespass as well as trespass on property other than a structure and failing to register as a convicted felon. You understand it by entering these pleas, you're going to give up certain rights, such as your right to have a trial, your right to have witnesses testify on your behalf, your right to cross-examine witnesses, as well as your right to require the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that? You understand you have a right to have an attorney represent you throughout these proceedings. If you could not afford to hire an attorney, one would be appointed to represent you. Do you understand that? If you are not a United States citizen, you understand that this plea could be used against you in a deportation proceeding. You understand if the court accepts your plea here today, there's not going to be anything left for me to do other than to sentence you according to the agreement that we've just discussed. You understand that? And then I'll accept your plea. There is a factual basis in the court file. In case number 20MM1741, there'll be an adjudication of guilt. You'll be sentenced to time served. Court costs will be imposed. I'll give you 60 days to pay those costs. Oh, okay. $1741, yes, sir. Okay. And I don't know what the case number is on this one. All right, and in case number 20MM2120, the trespass as well as the failing to register as a convicted felon, it'll be an adjudication of guilt, 10 days jail with credit for time served, court costs to include the cost of prosecution, and again, you'll have 60 days to pay those costs. They'll run concurrent with each other. All right, thank you, Mr. Simmons. Looks good. All right, thank you. Patrick Whitmore? I'm sorry? Bonded? Okay. Yeah, I'm actually going to come back to you on that one, I think. All right. We'll come back. Yeah, I don't know if I'm calling Miss Maurer or she's going to, oh, you're going to be here. All right. Actually then, all right, Miss Maurer's here. Miss Maurer's here, so let's do Mr. Garza. Oh, you have him.
Who is this, Judge?
This is Thomas Garza. It's a set for 215 a plea.
Okay.
20 CT 1797.
Are you ready for the terms of the plea?
Not yet. Get on, quick. Okay, go ahead.
On the DUI count, it's an adjudication, $600 fine, 12 months of probation without early termination, 12-month license revocation, DUI school, substance abuse evaluation, follow the recommendations of random person, no possession or consumption of alcohol, 1 victim impact panel, 50 hours of community service, 10-day vehicle impound, and costs. And on the driving while license suspended, it's an adjudication, $200 fine, and composite costs.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, the phone cut out. Was there a no buyout provision for community service hours?
I didn't hear one.
I didn't mention that, but we're in agreement.
And the victim impact panel as well?
Yes, ma'am.
That's correct, Judge.
That's all right. All right, will you state your name, please, sir? And, all right, Mr. Garza, were you previously placed under oath there, sir, this afternoon? Do you swear or affirm the evidence you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, sir? And put your hand down. And your counsel has indicated that you wish to plead no contest to the charge of driving under the influence and driving with a suspended license. Is that your understanding? You understand that the driving under the influence carries a maximum term of 6 months in the county jail and 1 year under the driving with a suspended license. Your counsel has indicated the terms of the plea. Were you able to hear those?
Yes, sir.
And has anybody promised or told you anything different than that?
No, sir.
Have you had an opportunity to read and sign a plea of guilty or no contest form?
Yes, sir.
You understand that is the rights that you would be giving up by entering your plea here this afternoon.
Yes.
You understand if you are not a United States citizen, that this plea could be used against you in a deportation proceeding.
Yes, sir.
If you were to be convicted of either driving under the influence or driving with a suspended license in the future, this plea today could be used against you in those cases, and it could result in harsher sentences in those cases. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
It also could be used against you, and your license could be revoked for a period of up to 5 years. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
I'll accept your plea. There is a factual basis in the court file for the plea. As to count 1, the driving under the influence, there'll be an adjudication of guilt, a $600 fine plus court costs. Your license will be revoked for a period of 12 months. You'll be placed on probation for a period of 12 months. There'll be no early termination of that probation. You'll also have to attend and complete the DUI school, have a substance evaluation, and follow any recommendation. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol. You'll be subject to random testing. You'll have to attend and complete a victim impact panel, perform 50 hours of community service. You are not able to buy out that community service. There'll be a 10-day vehicle immobilization. And as to count 2, the driving with a suspended license, there'll be an adjudication of guilt, $200 fine, and court costs. You will need to be fingerprinted there by the jail deputy. You'll also need to see the probation department as soon as you get out of custody, okay? All right. Thank you. That'll be it. Thank you. No buyout somewhere on the, Yep, I see it. Okay, all right. Perfect. All right, go ahead. I think that's it for you then, in that room? All right, thank you.
Unable to see other judges on the bench.
All right, do we have Martine Bishop? Okay. I don't know. Janine Lacombe? This is a warrant from Lee County on a violation of probation. You'll be held no bond on the violation pending your return to Lee County. Thank you. Amber Listenberger. Ms. Listenberger charged with 1 count of possession of a controlled substance, another charge of possession of a controlled substance, narcotic paraphernalia, possession of marijuana not more than 20 grams, and 1 count of a possession of a controlled or possession of a drug without a prescription. Ms. Karimi, I only see 1 possession felony drug. I'm not, unless I'm missing something.
A small plastic bag containing suspected methamphetamine, and then an orange prescription bottle containing 1 pill of D-amphetamine salt combination, 30 milligrams Adderall substitute.
Is that different than the amphetamine that she's charged with?
Well, I think they're,
Are they 2 separate drugs? Or is that the prescription one? know. I'm gonna do this anyway,
I don't
because it
know.
may not make a difference.
no, because I'm going to ask for a Whitman.
So on the 1 count of possession of a controlled substance, there is probable cause. Bond will be set at $5,000. Find no probable cause on the other one, there'll be an ROR. On the paraphernalia, bond will be set at $2,000, $2,000 on the marijuana, and 1 on the possession without a prescription. And I do have the Whitman Act warrant. I notice it only has 1 case number on it.
Oh, I'm sorry, Judge. I thought I put both. 17 CF 1315 and 17 CF 1479. The state would ask for a Whitman Act in both of those cases.
I have to sign that. As
Would
to
add
your,
the second case number?
yes. As to your new charges, Ms. Listenberger, your next court appearance is scheduled for January 25th. Jennifer Quintero, that's all right. We'll set her bond at $500. Julian Spitzberger, On the possession, it's 5,000 and 2,500 on the narcotic paraphernalia. And there'll also be I'll grant your motion to revoke bond in case number 19 CF 1588 and 20 CF 1072. Christina Renee Williams.
Your Honor, due to circumstances, the agency was replaced.
All right, on the battery, she'll be $10,000 bond. I don't know if this will cause issues over there, but there'll also be a no contact order with Andrea Taylor. And there'll also be a bond revocation on 20 MM 1862, or at least the ROR release. Elaine McCombs. Mr. McCombs, you're here on a charge of possession of a controlled substance, possession of narcotic paraphernalia, and driving with a suspended license. There is probable cause on the possession of controlled substance bond. We set at $5,000. $2,000 on the paraphernalia and $1,000 on the suspended DL. On the drug charges, bond will be set, your next court appearance is January 25th and January 21st on the suspended DL charge. Joshua Weaver.
Quarantine.
Okay, well,
And it is for COVID.
all right. We'll no bond Mr. Weaver on the warrantless violation of probation. Looks like January 7th. Although that looks like that may change. All right, I believe that's everyone other than you've got some 215s, is that correct?
Yes, one of them will be here, that's Jose, I can't say his last name.
Okay. Mr. Fayette's client.
Already good to see here.
I
think I saw the interpretation. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Okay. Let me get rid of somebody else real quick while we're waiting. Mr. Hopkins. Ms. Cream, we have Christopher Franklin.
Yes, Judge?
It's a petition to expunge.
Okay.
I don't know if you,
I emailed Mr. Lee the proposed order this morning, along with every other ASA I was guessing that may be here on the call today. But everything's in showcase. We paid the $42, certificate of eligibility is there in the case.
I'm objecting because it's Wednesday.
all right, well, I'm going to sign the order anyway.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. You guys don't stipulate to these anymore? Don't laugh, Mr. Dick. It's just a good play.
It takes longer to do that, but that's instead of hearing.
I don't know if she can hear me. It's only good if she can hear me.
Yeah. All right, we have Jose Yergagostu.
José, diga su apellido, señor.
You notice I stood here quietly, Judge.
Repita.
Sticky.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Mr. Yustiga, you're here on a charge of battery.
Señor Urestegui, está usted aquí por un acto de agresión, un cargo de calentura,
Violating an injunction
violar una orden de alejamiento.
And in case number 20MM 908, another violation of a,
Y en 20
Injunction.
908 otra violación.
your counsel is present.
Está presente aquí su abogado.
My understanding that this is for a plea.
Tengo entendido que esto es un arreglo negociado.
In terms, Mr. Fayette,
Los términos son, señor Fayette,
Judge, on the 2907 MM,
20 MM
Okay.
907,
it's an adjudication,
sería una sentencia que se le impondría
court costs,
gasto del tribunal,
$662 cost of investigation to
$662 gasto de
to
investigación,
CCSO, 180 days jail,
180 días en la cárcel,
credit for time served.
se acredita todo el tiempo.
He has a fair amount more than that, Judge. On the 17th, he had 189 days, so we gotta add that in there. So he has just short of 200 days in.
Okay.
Ya tenía 189 días, vamos corto de 2 días,
No contact with the victim.
no puede tener contacto con la víctima,
Concurrent on both counts and concurrent with case number 2908 MM.
y va junto también con el cargo 20 MM 908.
And Judge, on 20MM 908, the cost of investigation are $540 for the sheriff's office.
$40 por la oficina del sheriff.
All the other terms are concurrent.
All the other terms are the same, yes, Judge.
Son
and it's,
iguales.
I'm assuming the same terms in counts 1 and 2 in the first one.
Cada uno de ellos son los mismos, ¿no? Estoy asumiendo.
That's my understanding, Judge.
Eso así lo entiendo, señor.
Really mad at you.
Yeah, yes, because Natalia has it already checked out. Has to tell me that 3 times. I'm just looking for the information. Yeah. And the letter. All right, sir, if you will raise your right hand to be sworn,
Levante
please.
su mano derecha, señor, para que tome el juramento.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the
Juro afirmo
testimony you shall bear
solemnemente
shall
que
be the
tu buena
truth, whole
confesión,
truth, and nothing
la
but the truth?
más que la verdad, si oyes. Yes.
You may put your hand down.
Baja la mano.
Will you state your name?
Diga su nombre. Nombre completo.
José Ignacio Uriostegui de la Vega.
José Ignacio Uriostegui de la Vega.
All right, and Mr. Yorskigi, your counsel has indicated that you wish to plead no contest
Señor Uriostegui, su abogado ha indicado que quiere declararse no disputo
to the charge of battery
en el cargo de agresión,
in violating an injunction
violar una orden de alejamiento
in case number 20MM 907
en el cargo 20MM 907
and in 20MM 908 in violation of injunction.
908.
The max, I'm sorry, 90, that's it. I was going to, but you were talking. The maximum sentence you could receive in each case is 1 year in the county jail,
La sentencia máxima que puede recibir en cada caso sería 1 año en la cárcel.
The agreement that your attorney has reached in your behalf calls for an adjudication, 180 days in jail with credit for time served on both cases. Is that your understanding?
El arreglo que llegó su abogado sería de 180 días en la cárcel con una sentencia que se le adjudicaría a su expediente más los gastos del tribunal. ¿Es esa la sentencia que usted quiere aceptar?
And to be clear, Judge, I can represent to the court, he has that time in, he's going to be done here in Collier after
Y
this.
para estar claro, su señoría, ya él ha cumplido todos estos días aquí en esta cárcel, en la sentencia dentro de la cárcel.
Yeah, is it out loud?
Alto, en alta voz.
Entiendo.
I understand.
And then you have some papers in your hand. Is one of them a plea of guilty or no contest?
Tiene una hoja en su mano. ¿Es en formato de declaración? Yes.
And have you had an opportunity to go over that with your attorney?
¿La revisó con su abogado?
We went over, Judge, what was contained in the form. Obviously, I didn't go over the exact form with him, but we talked about what his rights were. He appeared
Sí,
to
señora, sí
understand.
hablamos de lo, no revisamos la hoja, literalmente hablando, pero sí revisamos los derechos constitucionales que estaría renunciando.
Is that yes?
Sí, tiene que hablar, señor. Yes, en altavoz, por favor.
And you understand that this plea could be used against you in a deportation proceeding?
¿Entiende que esta declaración podría ser usada en contra suya en un proceso de deportación?
Sí.
Yes.
If you were to be convicted of a battery in the future, this plea could be used against you and result in a harsher sentence in that case. Do you understand that?
¿Entiende usted que si en un futuro usted fuera acusado de un delito de agresión, esto se consideraría una penalidad mayor y la sentencia sería que se le impondría sería más rigurosa? ¿Entiende usted eso?
Entiendo.
I understand.
Then I will accept your plea. There is a factual basis in the court file.
Bien, acepto un arreglo negociado, su declaración.
In
Hay
case,
bases suficientes
in case number 20MM907,
en el caso 20MM907,
counts 1 and 2 will be an adjudication of guilt.
en el 1 y en el 2 se le impondría la sentencia.
Court costs will be imposed
Gastos del tribunal también están impuestos.
to include prosecution costs
Gastos de procesamiento están incluidos dentro de ellos.
and costs of investigative costs in the amount of $662.
Gasto de investigación por un total de $662.
You'll be sentenced to 180 days jail with credit for time served on each count.
Su sentencia de 180 días, pero se le acredita todo el tiempo que ya está cumplido.
Those counts will run concurrent with each other.
Van juntos los cargos, no separados.
There'll be a no contact order with Miss Maria Mendelata,
Con
Meddleta.
María Mendolara no puede tener contacto.
In case number 20MM908, there'll also be an adjudication of guilt.
En el cargo también, en el caso 20MM908, también se le impondría la sentencia.
Court costs will be imposed to include the cost of prosecution
Gasto del tribunal sería impuesto el gasto de procesamiento
and cost of investigation in the amount of $540 payable to the Collier County Sheriff's
y los
Department.
gastos también de procesamiento estarían $540 que se pagarían en las oficinas de la policía.
You'll also be sentenced to 180 days in the Collier County Jail.
180 días en la cárcel,
Yo-
la sentencia que se le impone,
You'll be credited with time served.
pero se le acredita tiempo cumplido.
In case number 20MM908 will run concurrent with case number 20MM907.
Y el caso 20MM907 va junto, corre junto con el cargo 20MM908.
All right, so you will need to be fingerprinted by the bailiff.
Ahora lo que hace falta solamente que pongan las huellas digitales.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thanks for your time, Judge.
All right, thank you. That looks, yes, that's it. All right, so this is. I believe that's everyone there.
And everybody,
That's on track.
Can I just?
Okay.
Yeah, you're good. Mr. Rossasher, you,
Yes.
is your client present?
Yes, I have my client right out here.
All right,
is this for a plea?
yes, sir.
Come right here. Yeah, that's fine.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
This is Rebecca Jones, 19 CT2235. Judge, we have an offer that contains the following.
There would be a plea of no contest, adjudication of guilt, 12 months probation, early termination at 9 months, a 5-year driver license revocation. There would be probation with no mail-in, a $1,000 fine. I believe it's 11 months to pay. DUI school, victim impact panel, substance abuse evaluation, random testing, court costs, cost of prosecution, and Your Honor, did I say a 30-day vehicle impound?
No, not yet. But you did
And
now.
a 1-year ignition interlock. Judge, in lieu of any jail or 10, I believe it was 10 days of jail, in lieu of that, there is an agreement that my client would be doing the weekend work program.
Judge, I think it was overlooked by the assigned prosecutor that as a second within 5, you cannot do weekend work.
Yeah, that was my understanding before.
So that it would be 10 days jail as a condition of probation with credit for time served that may be served on the weekend lockdown.
That is, so the community work program is, you're saying, is not available? That's what was part of the offer, but
Right.
I understand that's not available then on a second one.
Right, because there's a 10-day minimum mandatory, and under the statute, you can't do it. It requires at least a consecutive or 48-hour period. So there's weekend lockdown, which is if you turn yourself in on Friday, you get released on Sunday, or I think they used to. I don't know if they do it now. You could do it pretty much any 2-day period.
Yes, Judge, may I have just a very brief
Sure.
second call? Thank you very much.
All right. Mr. Day, are there any witnesses you want to see? Oh, you guys set the motion, didn't you?
Well, there was yeah, Judge, this is State versus Herndon, Steve Herndon, 20 MN 2073. There was a drop charge request filed. This originally was a felony. It was dropped to a misdemeanor. It was also a request, I think, from the victim at some point. So I went ahead and set the hearing. So I had not had any contact with the person.
Yeah, I don't know. Any conversations with Mr. Stewart, Ms. Karimi?
Judge, I don't see any victim input sheet in my file. Mr. Day referenced this drop charge request. If the victim's not present, we would object.
All right. Well, yeah, I wouldn't do it without hearing from her.
Yeah.
So we'll just indicate it's not heard, and you can refile it if there's, or the state can. I'm not, whoever wants to do it.
I will, Judge. I'll see if we can figure out what's going on. All right, have a good day.
All right, thank you. Court date for that?
It looks like there's an arraignment on January 4th.
Oh, okay.
We'll do it on Monday.
Yes, Your Honor, we are going to proceed. My client has a question. When would she begin this time? Is this something that she arranges with the Collier County Sheriff's Office, or
Yes.
how does that work out?
I can do this. I can make it at 10 days as a condition of her probation. So she'll have the probationary period to get that done. But you will have to go over to the jail to work out the schedule that you're going to turn yourself into, as long as you follow that.
When she would begin, et cetera.
Correct.
They will work, it doesn't have to be this weekend
I
or,
have the duration of the probation to figure out when I can do that.
Yeah.
The only reason I have.
You can either do it 10 days straight, or like I said, if you have a weekend or a 2-day period that you can do it, you can just work that out as to when you want to do it that way.
I have a 4-year-old daughter.
so you can work that out when she is covered, right? When someone is with
It
her.
has to be.
Okay. You want to go ahead?
I mean, does it have to, you just said it doesn't have to be this week and it can start.
Right, that's what the judge
Just
said.
as long as you get it done within the next 11 months, you should be good.
All right. Judge, so I believe that is the terms
Okay.
of the entire agreement, Judge.
Judge, the one thing I don't think I heard was follow recommendations of the substance abuse.
I didn't hear the prosecutor.
In reference to the substance use evaluation that's required under the DUI school,
Yes,
there's also a requirement that if there is any follow-up recommendations, you'll have to follow up. with
yes.
Follow those recommendations. All right, then, Ms. Jones, we'll have you raise your right hand if you would then, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give shall be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes.
Let me put your hand down. Will you state your name, please?
Rebecca Jones.
And Ms. Jones, your counsel's indicated that you wish to plead no contest to the charge of driving under the influence as second offense within 5. It carries a maximum term of 9 months in the county jail. We've gone over the terms of the plea earlier. We've also discussed the 10-day minimum mandatory that's required. But other than that, everything else is that the understanding of the plea that you've talked about with your attorney.
Yeah.
And you provided me a plea of guilty or no contest form. It does have a signature. And is this your signature here, ma'am? And your signature is telling me that you've read this form, or it's been explained to you by your counsel, and you understand the rights that you're giving up by entering this plea. Is that correct? You understand if you're not a United States citizen, that this plea could be used against you in a deportation proceeding. Also, if you were to be convicted of driving under the influence in the future, they could use this plea against you in that case, and it could result in a harsher sentence in that case. You understand that? It also could result in your license being revoked for a period of up to 10 years. Do you understand that? And there is a factual basis in the court file for the plea, and I will accept your plea. There'll be an adjudication of guilt. There'll be a $1,000 fine plus court costs to include the cost of prosecution. Your license will be revoked for a period of 5 years. You'll be placed on probation for a period of 12 months. There'll be no you can early terminate your probation after 9 months upon the completion of the following conditions: the DUI school, a substance abuse evaluation, felony recommendation, no possession or consumption of alcohol while you're on probation. You will be subject to random testing. There'll be a victim impact panel. You'll be required to perform, no, you won't either. There'll be a 30-day vehicle immobilization and a 1-year ignition interlock. You'll also be sentenced as a condition of your probation to 10 days in the Collier County Jail. You may serve that by either straight time or the weekend lockdown. In addition, as to your probation, you'll have to report. There'll be no mail-in probation.
Do I come in person?
I'm sorry?
Do I come in person?
They'll work that out with you. You'll need to see the probation department today on the first floor before you leave, and they'll explain that information, how you report, okay? With that, we'll have you step over to your left then, and you'll be fingerprinted by the bailiff.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
The video is weekend lockdown only, or?
Either straight or weekend lockdown. I don't know how she wants to do it.
I can just, not weekend work, right?
No weekend work,
Okay, so I would
just the other two. just indicate no mail,
No mailing?
no mail provision.
You said it.
Yep. Right, looks good.
Okay, perfect.
All right, Ms. Creamy, thank you.
Good
All right, have a good
day.
New Year's, all right?
Yeah.
All right, bye-bye.